I started running cold email over 10 years ago, sending over 18 million cold emails in the past 2 years alone, making myself and my clients well over $8 million. I've worked with different businesses across hundreds of different niches, running and testing hundreds of different formats with their cold email strategy. And in my experience, a concerning amount of businesses are doing cold email just the wrong way. So in this video here today, I want to break down that 10 years of knowledge and compress it into 5 key points that most business owners are doing wrong. Let's get into it. Number 1, you live and die by cold email deliverability. So what used to work then simply doesn't work anymore. When we first got started with cold email, you could go to a cheap domain provider like Namecheap, GoDaddy, Google Workspace, purchase hundreds of different domains, set up some sending accounts underneath those, throw those into your sending tool, put them into a warm-up stage, and within 2 weeks, you're able to start sending with no issues at all. But now that game has entirely changed. Everyone and their mother is running cold emails to attract leads, meaning that now it's harder than ever to make cold emails work, right? Truth is, cold email has never been in a better place. Most users can't even send cold emails without landing in spam. This then boils up to Google and Microsoft putting new restrictions in place to deal with these spammers. This means that cold email is effective, more effective than ever actually, but only if you take a calculated approach to deliverability that others won't. So if you want your cold emails to be more effective, let me show you one of the best kept secrets to cold email deliverability. Number 1, do you have a 50-50 mix of G Suite to Outlook? Reason being is we want to be able to test what account is resonating well and what one isn't when we're starting to begin our sending activities. Number 2, is our IP parked privately at a privately owned IP address. So what do I mean by this? When you first purchase a domain from somebody like Namecheap or GoDaddy or Squarespace now, you're going to be held natively on their IP address where other people are purchasing domains from. And so as a result, if these other people are running cold email or running spam, you're going to get bucketed into them. So instead, we want to purchase that domain and then park it at a private IP address that you own. Number 3, are we running automated inbox placement tests? Number 4, are we running a 50-50 mix of warm-up inboxes versus non-warm-up inboxes? I illustrated this a little bit earlier, but essentially what warm-up is when you're dealing with a sending tool like Lemlist, Instantly, or Smart Leads, they also have other users existing in their ecosystem. So they're going to send fake emails back and forth to those other inboxes to simulate activity. And most times you want to make that positive, so they're replying back and forth to each other. What we really want to find out is that warm-up having a positive or negative or neutral effect on our sending, and then take that into account for our growth in cold email strategy. And at this stage of cold email, if we're doing these 4 things, we're outworking the competition and ensuring deliverability. However, your deliverability doesn't matter at all if you don't nail this next part. In fact, most of the businesses we talk to always fail to do this properly, so pay attention. Number 2, the data that's hardest to find yields the highest ROI. Most businesses start by finding the cheapest data provider on the market, extract all the data they can out of the market at the cheapest price that they can, and just start ramming cold emails. This is the low-cost provider route, most cases being Apollo. This is by far one of the worst methods for cold email. Let me tell you why. Since this data is being used by everyone, these individuals are being contacted by similar companies just like yourself every single day. So they're already getting burnt out and they're inundated with similar emails. So you're already entering a saturated market just by utilizing these cold emails alone. And where you truly get outsized results with cold emails is when you get out from under Apollo and start utilizing alternative methods to find this user data. So some things that we've done in the past to give you a few ideas is use a tool like Phantom Buster to go and scrape LinkedIn groups or LinkedIn pages to find that company contact information and call that out in our outreach. We also use a custom Google scraper to find businesses on Google My Business, Google Maps, or Google Search. And then we turn to Clay, which is one of our data enrichment features. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, and run a waterfall enrichment to find that company contact information and then call out how we found them, or call out their location, or call out the certain service type of business that they are in our outreach. Lastly is we use multiple data providers to find company contact information, and we don't just run on Apollo alone. So we'll use Clay's waterfall enrichment feature, essentially plug in all of the different companies that we're looking to target and the personas as well, and then run that search across 6 to 7 different data providers to figure out like what's the best company contact information for that persona. Now, don't get me wrong, Apollo is part of that list, but it's not our only source. And by branching out to other data providers, we're able to diversify the results that we're going to able to see and increase the likelihood of ending up in the inboxes and not just being boxed into one corner here dealing with Apollo. Now, this takes time to do properly, and time is the only resource that we can't get back. So if you want to save hundreds of hours of learning how to do this, we help dozens of clients, book 10 to 20 meetings on their calendar every single month with qualified leads. So if you want us to help do the same for you, just click the link below. Now, not even the best leads in the world will get you where you want to go if you keep making this same mistake, which takes me to our next piece of advice. Number 3. Cold email templates will only get you so far. If you want outsized results, you have to swim against the pack. Now, email templates that you find floating around online are a great starting point if you've never done cold email before, don't get me wrong. They'll just help you get a feel for what a good cold email should look like. But these cold email templates could be totally bogus. We don't know if they actually work or not until we test them out against the market on the data that we just worked so hard to go and find. What you really want to do with these cold emails when you see them is understand a little bit more about the copywriting process and elements they're including in their outreach to be persuasive. Don't just copy and paste. You won't learn anything by doing that. Read the template over and over and identify what is the strategy that they're employing right now. Are they trying to paint a picture of the future? Are they trying to call out their customer pain points? Are they trying to be a familiar peer? Are they trying to act like a customer? Like, what is the actual strategy that they're employing right now to drive the user engagement? Then digest that concept and apply it to your business and your outreach. The templates will help, but make them your own by understanding the larger elements in play inside of them, and then just tailor those a little bit more to your outreach and what's relevant to your clients and your business. And now, really, there's only one mistake that is by far one of the most common that we're seeing businesses make right now. And to be honest, it's one of the most concerning too. Number 4, AI should be an enabler, not an anchor. With AI arriving on the scene a couple of years ago, people have seemed to just become lazier and lazier. And one of the most painful jobs that people hate doing is prospecting. Why? 9 out of 10 times, it's the grind of the activity itself. It's that constant rejection. It's the uncertainty if you're making any progress, and the consistent uncertainty if you're ever going to make it. So that's when a large portion of the market just turns to AI and says, write this for me or do this task for me. But when you do that, it just doesn't have the same human feel for it. And when you get an email that is written by AI, you can sniff it out a mile away, and Google and Microsoft probably can too. So if you really want to be successful, don't use AI as an anchor to your process and just having it write your entire cold email secrets, but more so use it as an enabler to do one of these 4 things. 1, help conduct market research on your ideal client persona, right? Use it and ask questions a little bit more around like, what are their dreams? What are their aspirations? What are the pain points and challenges that they're encountering on a daily basis, and what keeps them up at night? So you can use that in your outreach to be more targeted and relevant to the world that you're engaging with. Number 2, provide unique content ideas at scale. So what do I mean by this? We utilize AI to provide large content ideas for things like SEO, content, website audits, marketing ideas, sales ideas, etc., etc. How can your solution bridge the gap utilizing AI to just paint the picture a little bit more as to what that impact would look like truly on their business? Number 3, rewrite your emails to be more concise or professional. This is probably one of my favorite applications that I'm utilizing right now. Essentially, just take the script that I just wrote, plug that into GPT, and prompt it accordingly to make it more precise, persuasive, or professional. You're then going to get out a couple of different formats that you can merge together or spin or A/B test against each other itself. And then number 4, verify email accuracy. Don't just have ChatGPT and Gemini write that entire email sequence for you. You'll end up wasting your time, data, and energy that I just mentioned previously. Focus on conducting market research while it helps inform your copywriting process. And if you need to implement AI ideas, just utilize it to further illustrate the impact that you're going to have back on their business itself. But listen, if there's one practice that has directly made us and our clients well over $8 million with cold email, and I recommend everyone absolutely do it, especially if you want to see results as fast as you can. Number 5, learn how to A/B test effectively. A few years ago, we had the opportunity to work with this client, Bob from Life 360. He had a B2C age deceleration program that he was struggling to scale, so we wanted to take it B2B to work with different partners. He came to us with 4 different industries that he wanted to test out and try, and Nick and I came back to the table with 3 other industries that we thought would work relatively well. Over the course of 45 days, we were able to take those 7 industries and refine those down to 3 core industries that were booking meetings with ease and converting even easier. Now, I mentioned this case study specifically because A/B testing doesn't just start and stop with your copywriting process. You should be A/B testing your target populations as well, along with the sending accounts that you're utilizing to engage your target populations. When it comes to A/B testing your copywriting, You'll want to test your subject lines, you'll want to test your intro strategy, you want to test the offer, your positioning, and the call to actions as well. And most of our clients on their first campaign have anywhere from 8 to 10 different variants of step one. We'll test the intro offer and keep the offer the same and the call to action the same for 3 different variants, and then we'll rotate, right? We'll keep the intro the same, switch out the offers 3 different times, and test, keep the call to actions the same. Same thing with the CTAs. You can kind of see how the process works here, so we can test what messaging is working effectively and then scale into that. After about 400 sends, you'll have some pretty clear winners, and in the case of not, you have no winners, you now have the knowledge and experience to know what doesn't work itself. So if you want to make millions with cold emails, keep spinning up and testing new angles. Now, all that to say, if you want to see exactly how we launch 6-figure cold emails campaigns for us and our clients, I just made an hour-long guide showing you absolutely everything you need to know to make it. You can check it out here.